Peter Tosh was not just a reggae musician, he was a revolutionary voice, a fearless activist, and one of the most outspoken artists Jamaica has ever produced, while others chose peace and diplomacy. Peter Tosh chose truth, confrontation, and justice, no matter the cost. He was not just a reggae musician, he was a reggae revolutionary, a freedom fighter armed with shaped the man he would become. The struggle hardened his voice, sharpened his mind, and built an aggressive honesty that refused to sugarcoat the truth. Where others learned to adapt, Peter Tosh learned to confront. The environment he grew up in planted the roots of his militant mindset, a deep resistance to authority, injustice, and oppression. He saw inequality not as a theory, but as something lived and felt. And long before the world heard his music, Peter Tosh had already made a decision. He would never bow, never beg, and never stay silent. In the early 1960s, Peter Tosh crossed paths with two young artists who would change his life, Bob Marley and Wailer. What began as a shared love for music quickly became something much bigger. Together, they formed the Wailers, a group that would lay the foundation for reggae music as the world knows it today. Within the group, Peter Tosh was far more than a background figure. He was a skilled guitarist, a powerful lyricist, and a true musical innovator. Tosh brought a sharp edge to the sound, blending raw emotion, deep rhythm, and effortlessnesses that challenged the system. But from the beginning, there were differences. While Bob Marley leaned toward unity and wider appeal, Peter Tosh was more radical, more confrontational, and far less interested in commercial success. He wanted the music to hit hard, to disturb comfort, and to speak directly against oppression. Behind the militant image and fearless public voice, Peter Tosh lived a complex and often turbulent personal life. His passion for truth and resistance did not switch off when the cameras were gone. It followed him into his relationships and family. Peter Tosh was married multiple times and had several long-term relationships. Among the most well-known was Andrea Brown, who was part of his life during his later years. His relationships reflected the same intensity that defined his music: strong, passionate, but often difficult to sustain. Peter Tosh was also a father to several children, including Andrew Tosh, who would later continue his legacy through music and activism. As a parent, Tosh carried pride, but also distance. His strong personality, uncompromising beliefs, and constant conflicts with authority made family life challenging. At the time of his death, Peter Tosh's estimated net worth was believed to be around $3 to $5 million. For an artist of his global influence, this number may seem surprisingly modest. The reason is simple. Peter Tosh was never driven by money, and the system was never designed to reward someone like him. He was often blacklisted by mainstream media, resisted by record labels, and pushed aside because of his political stance. His refusal to compromise made him powerful, but it also limited his commercial success. Unlike many artists who chase chart rankings and radio play, Tosh focused on despite his aggressive public image. Tosh was also spiritually grounded. His Rastafarian faith shaped his worldview, guiding his sense of right and wrong, justice and resistance. To him, spirituality was not passive, it was active, disciplined, and demanding. Peter Tosh also loved martial arts and self-defense, training his body as much as his mind. He moved like a warrior, stood like a warrior, and lived like one. Every word, every stance, every performance carried the presence of a man prepared to defend his truth at all costs. In 1987, the voice of one of reggae's bravest warriors was suddenly silenced. Peter Tosh was murdered during a home invasion, a violent and tragic end that shocked Jamaica and the world. The news spread quickly. Disbelief, anger, and sorrow followed. A man who had survived police brutality, government pressure, and years of confrontation with powerful systems was gone, not by politics, but by senseless violence. There was a painful irony in his death. Peter Tosh spent his life fighting oppression, demanding justice, and calling for an end to brutality. Yet in the end, he was taken by the very violence he spoke against. His murder left a deep scar on reggae music and on Jamaica itself. Artists mourned the loss of a fearless voice. Fans mourned a truth teller who never backed down. And the nation mourned a man who dared to speak louder than fear.